What would you do if the woman sleeping beside you whispered another man's name in her dreams and smiled? It was 2:17 a.m., and the only light in our bedroom came from her phone screen, still glowing faintly on the nightstand. I wasn't supposed to wake up. I wasn't supposed to see it. But there it was, her gallery open, dozens of photos, all of the same man, shirtless in hotel mirrors, smirking in dim bars, standing in places I'd never been invited to. And at the top of the screen, a message preview lit up just long enough for me to read it. Miss you already. Last night was perfect. My wife had always said she hated him. So why was she saving everything he ever sent her? And why did it look like she never planned on stopping? If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel, tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. The next morning, she kissed me like nothing had changed. We were sitting at a small diner off Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles, the kind with cracked leather booths and burnt coffee that tasted like regret. She laughed at something I said, touched my hand, looked me in the eyes like she had for years. And for a second, I almost convinced myself I imagined everything. Are you okay? She asked, tilting her head. You've been quiet. I nodded. Just tired. She smiled, squeezing my fingers. You work too hard. That's when I noticed it, the way she pulled her hand away just a second too fast when her phone buzzed. I didn't ask. Not yet. But something inside me had already started breaking. Over the next few weeks, the small things piled up. Late nights at work. Showers the second she got home. Her phone always face down. Always locked. Always just out of reach. And then there was the name. Evan. She'd mentioned him before, casually. Ugh, Evan's such a creep, she'd say. I can't stand him. But every time his name came up, there was something off. Too rehearsed. Too dismissive. I started checking. It wasn't dramatic at first. Just small things. Bank statements. Uber receipts. Locations she'd forgotten to turn off. A hotel charge in downtown LA she couldn't explain. A parking garage on West 3rd Street she'd never mentioned. And then one night, she left her phone in the bathroom. Unlocked. I didn't hesitate. The messages weren't just flirtation. They were detailed. Graphic. Plans, memories, inside jokes that stretched back months, maybe longer. I wish you were here instead of him. I hate pretending. He suspects nothing. That last one sat in my chest like a bullet. I read everything. Photos, videos, voice notes. Every lie she'd told me unraveled in seconds. And the worst part? She wasn't just cheating. She was mocking me. He's so predictable, she wrote once. I could do anything, and he'd never leave. I remember staring at that message until the screen dimmed. Then I put the phone back exactly where it was. And I smiled when I walked back into the living room. Because in that moment, something inside me changed. I didn't confront her. Not then. Instead, I watched. I learned her patterns. Her lies. Her tells. I followed the digital trail she thought she'd hidden so well. I found out where they met. A boutique hotel off Sunset Boulevard. Same room number. Same nights every week. I even saw him once. He was exactly what I expected. Smug. Careless. The kind of guy who thought he'd already won. He had no idea. I hired a lawyer. Quietly. Then a private investigator. Quieter. Photos. Videos. Time-stamped records. Hotel logs. Financial transfers. Everything documented. Everything undeniable. I didn't want revenge. I wanted annihilation. One night, she came home late again, smelling like someone else's cologne. Work was crazy, she said, kicking off her heels. I nodded. Yeah, I figured. She didn't even look at me. That was the moment I knew. She thought she was untouchable. So I gave her exactly what she expected. Nothing. For weeks. I played the role perfectly. The oblivious husband. The dependable one. The fool she thought she controlled. Until the night I didn't. It was her birthday. She had invited friends. Co-workers. Family. Even him. Of course, she didn't tell me he'd be there. But I knew. I'd made sure of it. The party was at a rooftop bar downtown, overlooking the city lights. Music, laughter, champagne. It looked perfect from the outside. She wore red. His favorite color, according to the messages. I watched them from across the room. The way they stood too close. The way they smiled when they thought no one was looking. Then I stepped forward. Tapped my glass. Hey, I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. I just wanted to say something. The room quieted. She looked at me, confused. I smiled. I've spent the last few months learning something important about trust. A few people laughed awkwardly. I continued. So I figured, why not share it with everyone? That's when the screen behind me lit up. Photos, messages, videos. Every secret she thought was buried, played out in front of everyone she cared about. Her face drained of color. What are you doing? She whispered. I didn't answer. I just kept it playing. Her friend stepped back. Her coworkers stared. And him? He tried to leave. Security stopped him. Because I'd already spoken to them. She grabbed my arm. Please stop. I finally looked at her. You said I'd never leave, I said quietly. Tears filled her eyes. I didn't, I added. I just made sure everyone else did first. The fallout was immediate. Her job? Gone. Her friends? Gone. Her family? They didn't even answer her calls. The divorce was quick, efficient, brutal. Every piece of evidence I'd gathered ensured there was nothing left for her to take. No money, no house, no reputation. As for him, married. His wife received everything the same night. I never saw either of them again. Months later, I passed by that same diner on Melrose. Sat in the same booth. Ordered the same burnt coffee. Only this time, the silence didn't hurt. It just existed. Because the truth is, revenge doesn't fix you. It just empties you in a different way. And as I sat there, staring at my reflection in the window, I realized something I hadn't expected. I didn't miss her. Not even a little. I just missed the version of myself who never had to wonder what she was hiding. And that man, he was gone the moment I looked at that phone at 2:17 a.m. The end.